lovely friends. Today we have another whispering Wikipedia video. Today we are reading about the terrifying Sydney funnel web spider. I hope this is something that interests you, because it definitely is something that interests me as an Australian. Thank you very much to whoever it was who suggested that we should read about the Sydney funnel web spider in our Whispering Wikipedia series. If you have any animal or insect or fungi or plant which you wish that I could read about, please tell me in the comments below, because this series runs off of user suggestion. And without further ado, please remember that I cannot pronounce scientific names. Let's get into this Wikipedia page. The Sydney funnel web spider, Atrax robustus, is a species of venomous mygalomorph spider native to eastern Australia, usually found within a 100-kilometre radius of Sydney. It is a member of a group of spiders known as Australian funnel web spiders. Its bite is capable of causing serious illness or death in humans if left untreated. The Sydney funnel web has a body length ranging from 1 to 5 centimetres, which is 0.4 to 2 inches. Both sexes are glossy and dark coloured, ranging from blue-black to black to shades of brown or dark plum-coloured. Let's go and dive headfirst into the taxonomy section of the Sydney funnel web spider. The Reverend Octavius Pickard, Cambridge, was the first to describe the Sydney funnel web spider from a female specimen housed in the British Museum in 1877. Establishing the genus Atrax, he named it Atrax robustus. The species name is derived from the Latin robustus, meaning strong, sturdy, mature, like robust. Some years later, William Joseph Rainbow described a male Sydney funnel web as a new species, Euctemna dubialis. Interesting that that dude's surname is Rainbow. I've never heard of that as a surname before. He renamed the species from a spider he found under a log in Turramurra and another from Mossman. He coined the scientific name from ancient Greek Euctigmus, well built, and Latin tibialis, of the tibia, having noted its prominent tibial spur. In the same paper, he described a female Sydney funnel web spider as yet another species, Poikilomorpha montana, from a specimen collected from Jemison Valley and Wentworth Falls in the Blue Mountains, which is a lovely place. Its species name was derived from Poikilomorphia, variety of form, referring to the eyes of different sizes, and montana of the mountains. In February 1927, a young boy died after being bitten on the hand after playing with a big black spider on the laundry steps of his home in the Sydney suburb of Thornley. Interesting. That's very sad. He fell gravely ill and perished later that evening. Public interest in the spiders surged, and the police brought the dead spider to the Australian Museum, where Anthony Musgrave similarities that Ictymna dubius was the male Atrax robustus, and Poikilomorpha montana was classified as the same species in 1988. As of May 2018, Atrax robustus is one of the 3 species of the genus Atrax in the family Adrasidae. The Sydney funnel-web spider shares its name with some members of the genus Adrasidae. It remains together with the northern tree-dwelling funnel-web, the only 2 species of Australian funnel-web spider known to have inflicted fatal bites on humans. Now on to the description. The Sydney funnel-web is medium to large in size, with body length ranging from 1 to 5 centimeters, which is 0.4 inches, to 2 inches. Both sexes are glossy and darkly coloured, ranging from blue-black to brown or dark plum-coloured. The carapace covering the cephalothorax is almost hairless and appears smooth and glossy. Another characteristic are its finger-like spinnerets at the end of the abdomen. The shorter-lived male is smaller than the female but long-legged. The average leg length for the spider is, in general, 6 to 7 centimeters. Now, quickly onto the distribution and habitat. The distribution is centred on Sydney, extending north to the Central Coast and south to the Illawarra region, and west to the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. The spider can be found in most microhabitats, including under logs and foliage. Sydney funnel-web spiders are mostly terrestrial spiders favouring habitats with moist sand and clays. Now, let's talk about their behaviour, which is their most intimidating part. The behaviour. They typically build silk-line tubular burrow retreats with collapsed tunnels or open funnel entrances from which irregular drip lines radiate over the ground. It's quite disgusting. They make a hole trap in the ground and live in it, and then the web kind of comes out of the hole. And so when something's walking, it can trigger the spider to suddenly climb up out of the hole and bring it back down in. It's disgusting. In some exceptions, which lack drip lines but may have trapdoors, the silk entrance tube may be split into 2 openings in a Y or a T form. The spiders burrow in sheltered habitats where they can find a moist and humid climate. For instance, under rocks, logs, or borer holes in rough-barked trees. The long-lived female funnel-web spends most of the time in their silk-lined tubular burrow retreats. When potential prey, which includes insects, lizards, or frogs, walks across the drip lines, they rush out, subduing their prey by injecting venom. That's quite intimidating. Males, recognised by the modified terminal segment of the palp, tend to wander during the warmer months of the year looking for receptive females to mate with. This makes encounters with male specimens more likely, as they sometimes wander into backyards or houses or fall into swimming pools. The spiders can survive such immersion for up to 24 hours, trapping air bubbles on hairs around their abdomen. Sydney funnel-web spiders are mainly active at night, as typical daytime conditions would dehydrate them. During the day they seek cover in cool, moist hideaways. After heavy rain, spider activity is increased as their burrows may be flooded. When threatened or provoked, funnel web spiders will display aggressive behavior, rearing up on their hind legs and displaying their fangs. When biting, the funnel web spider maintains a tight grip on its victim and often bites it repeatedly. Now, bites to humans. The lethal dose of venom in humans is not known. The lethal dose of venom from male Sydney funnel-web spiders for the crab-eating macaque is 0.2 milligrams per kilogram. High figures were found for other experimental animals such as 1.5 milligrams per kilogram for 2-day-old mice. The average venom yield for a male is 176 milligrams. Guinness World Records has ranked the Sydney funnel-web spider as the world's most venomous spider, defining the term most venomous as having the venom most toxic to humans, although it has also given this title to the Brazilian wandering spider. Sydney funnel-web spider venom contains a compound known as atraxotoxin, an ion channel inhibitor, which makes the venom highly toxic for humans and other primates. However, it does not affect the nervous system of other mammals. Wow. These spiders typically deliver a full envenomation during their bite, and they often strike repeatedly due to their defensiveness and large chitinous chilicoral fangs. There has been no reported cases of severe envenoming by female Sydney funnel-web spiders, which is consistent with the finding that venom of female specimens is less potent than the venom of their male counterparts. In the case of severe envenomation, the time to onset of symptoms is less than 1 hour, with a study about Sydney funnel-web spider bites finding a median time of 28 minutes. This same study revealed that children are at a particular risk of severe Sydney funnel-web spider envenoming, with 40% of all cases of severe envenoming being children. There is at least one recorded case of a small child dying within 15 minutes from a bite of a funnel web. Now on to treatment. The bite of a Sydney funnel web is initially very painful, with clear fang marks separated by several millimeters. The size of fangs is responsible for the initial pain. In some cases, the spider will remain attached until dislodged by shaking or flicking it off. Physical symptoms can include copious secretion of saliva, muscular twitching and breathing difficulty, disorientation and confusion leading to unconsciousness. And the treatment. A Sydney funnel web bite is regarded as a medical emergency requiring immediate hospital treatment. Current guidelines for antivenom recommends 2 vials or 4 vials if symptoms of envenomation are severe. Patients are assessed every 15 minutes, with further vials recommended if symptoms do not resolve. The most vials used to treat a bite is 12. The patient was a 10-year-old boy who was bitten in February 2017 by a male Sydney funnel web that was hiding in a shoe. You always should check your shoes before putting them on in Australia if you have left them outside. The antivenom was developed by a team headed by Strahan Sutherland at the Commonwealth Serum Laboratories in Melbourne. Good job. Since the antivenom became available in 1981, receives Sydney funnel web spiders as part of its milking program. In January 2016, they received a male Sydney funnel web with a 10 centimetre 4 inches leg span. This spider was described by the park as the largest specimen that it had ever seen. Very interesting stuff. Thank you so much again to whoever it was whom suggested that I should read about the Sydney funnel web spider. If you are interested, maybe I shall read to you about the other types of funnel web spiders in Australia. If you're interested in that, leave a comment below, or perhaps another type of Australian spider. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you had a nice break, a nice pause, a nice rest, a nice reprieve.